Okay, so let's continue from where we ended the last time we met. So the last time we looked at the introduction of standard form, how we can express numbers in a scientific notation. This time we are going to look at how we can add and subtract numbers when it is given in standard form. So we are going to base on what we did previously so that we can do this easily. Remember what we did last time? We learned how to reverse numbers or standard form to numerals. Whenever you have standard form, you are asked to express it in numeral form or write it in the real number form. We did that, and that is what we are going to use to do this. So let's take the first example. So for this one, before you can do this, to make the work easier whenever it's given to you in the standard form, what you do is first change it to real numbers, change from standard form to numerals, and when you are done, you add them. After adding them, then you change it back towards standard form. That makes the work easier for you. All right. So let's look at the first one. So we have 7.5 times 10 exponent negative 3. So let's first change this to real numbers. Okay, remember what we did previously. We said that when you are changing to numerals, what you do is consider the n, the exponent. Is it negative or positive? If it is negative, then that means you are going to move the point from right or wherever it is to the left side. How many times? The number of what the exponent you see there. So this one we see exponent 3. So that means we are going to move the point from where it is to the left side. How many times? 3 times. So that is what we are going to do. All right, good. So it means we have the 7.5. So we are going to move how many times? 1, 2, 3. And I already told you that after moving, if you don't have any numbers there, then there's empty spaces, you replace them by hot 0. So the point will be here. So I will bring my point and then add here 0 for this, 0, another 0 for this empty. Then I'll bring my 7 and then 5. And then this time you bring the 0 here so that you get 0 point what? 007. So we have changed this. Now let's also consider the 2.5 times 10 exponent negative 3. So this one as well, we write 2.5. So it means this one too, we are moving from here. How many times? 3. 2, 3. Then I'll bring my point here, then replace here 0, 0, and then 2, 5. Then I'll bring my 0. Have you gotten that? So this time we are going to add the 2. So we are going to add this to this. Now let's quickly add this and write our answer. Good. So when you add these two, you are going to get 0.01. Great. So this is what now after getting this, then you change it again to standard form because we are asked to add this and it is in standard form. All right. So you first change it to real numbers so that then you add it to make it easy for you. After that, the answer you get, then you change it towards standard form. And this is what we have. We already learned how to change it. And I told you that when you have numbers and you are asked to change to standard form, what do? You start what? You move the point. Have you gotten? If you have zeros here and here, you move the point from what, wherever it is, to the right side. Have you gotten that? Please don't confuse yourself when you are changing from real numbers to standard form and when you are changing from standard form to real numbers. When you are changing from standard form to real numbers, you move to the left when you see that the exponent is negative. Have you gotten that? But when you are changing from row numbers to standard form, if you see that there are zeros here like this, then you move. Okay, you move from the left to the right. So take note of that. Okay, so this time we are moving from here. So we count how many? 1, 2. Okay, so there's no number here. So we just write 1 because there's no number. We ignore that. So it will be 1 times what? 10 exponent. Now this time because we are moving to the right side, then it becomes what? Negative 2. Have you gotten that? Great. So when you add this, if you add this, you are going to get this. All right. Great. Now let's do the second example. So we apply the same. Now let's write 4.23 times 10 exponent 2. So let's change it. Okay, let's change it to row numbers. Now this time we have 4.23. So you ask yourself, do we have a positive or negative? We have positive. So this time, if we have positive, are we moving to the right or we are moving to the left? We move to the right. So I will count here 1, 2. So the point comes here. Therefore, I will get my 423. So I get whole number. Okay. Now let me also change this 3.24 times 10 exponent negative 3. All right, good. So this time we have a negative here, so it means I'm going to move to the left. Okay, good. So I will move from here. How many times? 3. 1, 2, 3. Have you gotten that? Then my point is here, so I'll start from 0, 0, 3, 2, 4. Then I will bring my point here. Have you gotten that? So it means this is what I have. So I'm going to add this to that. Okay, so it's going to be 4 plus 4 to 423 plus 0.00324. So this is what I'm going to add. So I'm going to add this to this. And after that, I change it to what? Standard form. Good. Now, if I add this to that, what am I going to get? So I'm going to get 423.00324. So this is what I get. All right, but this is not in scientific notation form, or this is not in standard form. So I still have to change it to standard form because the question is given in standard form. All right, good. Now this is what you have. So how do you change this to standard form? Remember what we did initially. When it is given to you like this, because what you have here, they are real values. Okay, if they are real values, then we are not going to move the point to the left side. Instead, we are going to move to the right side. Remember, have you gotten my point? Great. So it means I'm going to move from here 1, 2. I'm not going to continue because we are saying that once you get real values here, then point should be between what? Real values. All right, so it means my point is no more here. Now it has come here, so I'm going to get 4 points, then 2, 3. Then I'll add my zeros. I'm not going to ignore these zeros. Remember, I told you that whenever you have zeros between real numbers or values, we bring the zeros. But when you see that the zeros are at the extreme ends, whether the zeros are at the left end or at the right end, that is where we ignore the zeros. So remember that, okay? But when the zeros fall between numbers, we bring the zeros. So I'm going to add all my zeros, okay? Then I have 3, 2, 4 times. How many times did I count? 2. So it may end. This time I counted and I moved to the left side. So is it going to be positive or negative? Because I moved to the left side, it's going to be what? Positive 2. So this gives me what? My answer. Great. Now whenever you are asked to add or subtract, follow this principle and then it becomes very, very what? Easy and simple for you. Now, this brings us to the end of today's lesson. Now, our next lesson, we are going to look at how we can multiply and divide standard forms. That's multiplication and division of standard form. All right, great.